full of amazing experiences. Cheers to a beautiful year end.
This is the ATN Global News at 9. First, the headlines. Police bust criminal hideout, arrest kingpins. Ondo State gets new governor, Ayedatiwa. President Tinubu mourns former speaker, Gali Naaba. Nigeria to begin gas supply. South Africa 2024. Bakassi opposition leader goes missing. Portable beats Charles in celebrity boxing match. Arteta speaks on Arsenal's plans for January. The Rivers State Police Command arrested one Azubwe. The suspect, who was released from the Nigerian Correctional Service a few months ago, was arrested with a locally made pistol. He confessed to working for the leader of the arrested armed robbery syndicate, Anthony Augustine, revealing that his specialty in the gang was peddling drugs and servicing guns. A statement by SP Grace Iringe Koko, the police public relations officer, said a related investigation through intelligence led policing an auxiliary nurse who turned out to be the wife of the armed robbery gang leader. Further interrogations led to the discovery of a 7-room brothel located on Odani Elelewo that served as a hideout for members of the syndicate. On December 10, 2023, the gang leader Anthony Augustine, age 22, was arrested at Green City Estate in Odani Elelewo amidst widespread jubilation from residents as he and his gang had been a terror to the community. Items recovered from the suspect include an iPhone X, suspected packs of marijuana, POS machines, and locally made pistols. She said the arrest is in response to the police chief's directive, which the unit carried out stop and search operations and placed the area under surveillance. The leader confessed to running the brothel as a guise for his underworld activities, and further investigation revealed that he was involved in a case of murder and robbery and had recently been released from a correctional center. Investigations are still ongoing as the police seek to arrest other members of the syndicate. However, the Commissioner of Police, CP Tunji Rilwan Disu, celebrated the efforts of the men of the anti-kidnapping unit and encouraged residents of Rivers State to promptly report crime as it happens to enable the police apprehend criminals and nip crime in the bud. He also warned the public against buying used items, especially phones, regardless of how cheap they are, citing that such purchases can lead to more significant problems. He further counseled young people to desist from seeking to make wealth using dishonest means, as they will be at the mercy of the law when caught. He reiterated that the Rivers State Police Command will not stop pushing to apprehend every suspect on the command's wanted list and to rid the state of crime. The Nigerian Police Force has refunded over 80 million naira allegedly extorted by the anti-cybercrime unit attached to the state CI. In a statement on Wednesday by SP Grace Iringe Koko, the police public relations officer said Comrade Joe expressed gratitude to the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, and his team for ensuring justice in the matter. He urged the new Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, CP Tunji Disu, to continue to monitor the activities of unscrupulous policemen. It will be recalled that Commander Israel Joe had petitioned IGP Kayode Egbetokun detailing how the police in Rivers State Command invaded the home of one Davidson John Atubi, chairman of a pipeline surveillance facility, arrested him, and seized over 100 million naira, which the victim was supposed to use to pay his workers' salaries and medical treatment abroad. In other reports, the Rivers elders that the Presidential Peace Pact is unrealistic in its entirety, following the lingering political upsurge making rounds in the state. You recall that the Rivers Elders Forum had recently condemned the attempted impeachment of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to consolidate on his insensitive to the plight and security of the people, capable of generating more chaos and anarchy in the state.
Open letter to the government and good people from many people and from our people across the country. Peace can only be practiced in a germane, truthful, and just society. In this case, celebration of Christmas, nor peace in Bethlehem. On this note, we state that you do not place too much premium on the assurances of detractors. Rather, be guided by the Constitution. The Forum believes that there will be peace in Port Harcourt and indeed the entire River State if only Your Excellency would be circumspect in your actions, measured in your engagements, and have a critical mind of your review of events or any other legal power to implement the presidential peace proclamation. The message of Christmas is peace in Bethlehem and to the world. We at this forum also wish you peace in Port Harcourt and the entire River State. Please accept the assurances of our highest regard. And these have been signed by all the members, the available members of the forum.
He further urged Governor Siminalayi Fubara to ensure he leads the people of Rivers State according to the Constitution. And the chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Eze Chukwuemeka Eze, has declared that Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara's acceptance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's peace proclamation was not holistic, describing it as just a ploy to buy time pending when the Supreme Court decides on the gubernatorial election of the state come January 2024. Eze, in a statement in Port Harcourt, the state capital, argued that Fubara's acceptance serves only as a temporary respite for those opposed to him pending the Supreme Court's ruling on the Rivers State gubernatorial election in January 2024. Reacting on Atlantic Television Open Conversation, a socio-political analyst, Barrister Adubari Manki, expressed disappointment on the trades of activities, political interests, and coloration of the immediate past governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike.
That is not imaginable. It's not imaginable, humanly speaking, thinking, except somebody is off his or her mind, what former governor of Rivers State is seeking to execute in Rivers State. And before, where I was going, before I digress now, what he sought to do when we heard that this governor went to place like Songhai Farm, talking about the fact that he's going to revive it and promise Rivers people that he's going to use the resources to kind of touch the life of the people.
Right.
You notice that under Amechi, he set up the model secondary school, and that school was competing at international level.
Right.
When Governor Wike came in, that was the first shot that gave me a signal that something is wrong upstairs at the control tower. He shut down the school. There was one, they named it after one of our ambassadors, Nekrubo.
Yes.
At Ibubu Eleme.
Yes.
If you had the opportunity of getting around there and saw the development that that school alone was attracting to that zone, he shut down that school and then handed it over to the Navy. Right? He shut down the Songhai Farm. He shut down Buguma Fish Farm, amongst others. Thriving economic centers. And so we learned the governor visited this Songhai Farm. Within the shortest time thereafter, next thing we had was that there was move to impeach the governor. It does me. And I say this to people. Some people may look at me and say, is this guy not a lawyer? Look, let me say this to you. You are a lawyer listening to me. When there was trouble in this state, I'll give you some classic revelation here. When there was trouble in this state under Amechi, Amechi threatened that if lawyers go on protest, that he's going to recruit touts and give them suit to join us and beat us up. Then some senior lawyers argue that it is unprofessional to demonstrate. But I will tell them, the law we are practicing in Nigeria emanates from UK, that's United Kingdom. Right. That's our base. Lawyers, I think that was 2006 or thereabouts. Yeah. Lawyers in Wales and England. You know, in England, the compartmentalization is completely divided. Yes. You can't be solicitor and advocate. Yes. You are either solicitor or you are advocate. Yes. Advocate and solicitors joined, they went on strike. You may not understand why they went on strike. They didn't go to court. The reason why they went on strike was that part of the budgetary allocation, one of the highest part of the budgetary allocation is for justice, to protect the weak.
He blamed the Nigerian judiciary for its inability to uphold to the teeth the rule of law without interference in its discharge of its constitutional duties.
When there was bombing, the terrorists advanced and took that train that was going to Kaduna from Abuja. The first victim or casualty was that young girl who was about to move out of that medical doctor. Yes. 3 lawyers were involved. I found my profession in Nigeria as a reactionary body. We only react when we are caught in the net. And as time progresses, I will make you realize certain things. What has happened, like I said, is a coup. By section 118 of the Constitution, right. If a governor, I'm not saying the governor cannot be removed from office, but it must be on account of gross misconduct. And I listened carefully to the governor. When he moved to address, thank God, he was not caught in the crossfire. If not, this one we are talking will be a bygone story. He said, he told the legislators, we are all accountable to Rivers people. Tell Rivers people what I did that constitute gross misconduct whereof you are moved to remove me from office. Till now, I said to my representative, I have challenged him, I have done a couple of videos and I published it. He's here to tell me what Governor Smilaye, sorry if I didn't pronounce the name well, Fubara, I think that is a better one for me. Right. What Fubara did, that amount of act of gross misconduct.
Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State says local government councils were important to the overall growth and development of the nation. Oborevwori stated this at his Osubi country home when he received on a Christmas visit the College of Heads of Personnel Management and Treasurers to the local governments. He said his administration will continue to do its best to advance its more agenda for the development of the state. He noted that what is more important is for the state to move from this level to a higher level. We will look at the issues we raised and see how to resolve them, he said. His administration will continue to appoint people with experience and those who are qualified and strong enough to work. Will be appointed because we need their experience to add value to governance. On employment of junior staff, Oborevwori said the state government will employ when necessary. Earlier, the president, the College of HPMs and TLGs, Chief Austin Emaduku, congratulated the governor on his various victories at the polls and tribunals. He commended the governor for his support to local government councils, lauding him for the appointment of Deacon Joseph Otire as chairman of the Local Government Service Commission. And the Cross River State government has barred vehicular movement on major carnival routes in Calabar, the state capital. This is as the Carnival Calabar peaks in activities from Wednesday 27th December 2023. In a statement signed by the governor's chief press secretary, Emma Ogbeche, the motoring public were advised that vehicles without duly signed permits by the state security advisor would not be allowed into the city to avoid what happened last year when multiple accidents occurred. The statement cautioned that no vehicle is allowed to accompany the bikes on the Bikers Carnival except ambulances. Members of the public were urged to adhere to guidelines and obey security agents and carnival officials at all times. The state government warned that flouting any of the directives will attract stiff sanctions. And Governor Umar Eno of Akwa Ibom State has declared Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024 as public holiday to enable all the citizens to participate in the New Year interdenominational Thanksgiving service. Eno, according to a statement by the Government House Press Unit on Wednesday, spoke in his hometown, Ikot Ekpeneudo, in Si Ubiom local government area, at an event to celebrate the 2023 Boxing Day. He said the New Year Thanksgiving service is scheduled to take place at the Interdenominational Christian Worship Center, Uyo, and called on all Akwa Ibomites to turn out as a people united under one God for this service. He appreciated his predecessor, Udom Emmanuel, and wife, the political, traditional, and religious leaders, Akwa Ibom people, non-indigens residing in the state, and those who traveled from afar and wide to grace the event, which he described as homecoming and a great reunion. Also speaking at the event, the immediate past governor of the state, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, expressed pleasure over the ambience of the event. He commended his successor for using the Yuletides to reinforce love, peace, and harmony in the state, and appealed to the people to continually pray for the current administration and also for the peace and prosperity of the state. In other reports, most civil servants in Abia have yet to resume work after the two-day public holiday for the Christmas celebration. The federal government had declared Monday 25th and Tuesday 26th as public holidays, and our correspondent who visited the Abia Secretariat at Ogunube Layout, Umuahia, reports that the complex, which was usually a beehive of activities, was virtually empty. Most of the offices were under lock and key, while the ones that opened had a few workers who were busy cleaning up their tables and lockers. It was also observed that most of the shops and kiosks located within the Secretariat complex, which were usually busy during weekdays, were still locked. Some of the civil servants who reported to work were seen exchanging Christmas pleasantries, and those who spoke to newsmen expressed happiness that work had resumed and attributed the low turnout to the usual lull associated with resumption after Christmas break. A senior administrative officer of the Ministry of Trade, Commerce and Industry, Mr. Patrick Ndwaguime, said he would not know why some workers were yet to resume after the two-day holiday expired on Tuesday. And Governor Peter Mba has signed 521.5 billion naira Ebonyi State 2024 budget into law, saying it would engender disruptive economic growth, radical infrastructural development, and efficient service delivery. Mba, who said that the Enugu State 2024 appropriation law, consisting of 404.3 billion naira capital expenditure, representing 79% of the budget, and 107.2 billion naira, representing 21% of the budget, would rely heavily on internally generated revenue, charge members of the executive arm of government on robust revenue mobilization and service delivery. Speaking during the budget signing, which was witnessed by members of the Enugu State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker, Honorable Uchenna Ugu, as well as commissioners and other top government functionaries at the Government House, Enugu, on Wednesday, Mba thanked members of the state legislature for their support across party lines. He said the expeditious passage of the budget was a product of executive legislature collaboration during the making of the budget estimates, and listed the multiple gains expected from the 2024 budget. And at least 4 persons on Wednesday sustained various degrees of injuries as fire gutted Fat Noble Filling Station, an independent marketing oil firm along Old Road opposite Toriko, Badagry, Lagos State. Attendants were dispensing petrol inside jerry cans and sacks at the back of the station when the explosion occurred. According to a source, those who sustained injury were quickly rushed to the General Hospital in Badagry before the arrival of fire service men. Meanwhile, Mr. Isaac Dosa, the station head, Badagry Fire Service, Lagos, said they received an emergency call at 1:15 a.m. about the incident and they proceeded to the scene immediately. Our correspondent who visited the emergency unit of the hospital saw 4 men with various injuries laying down in pain at the unit. And President Bola Tinubu says the federal and sub-national government of Nigeria have the mutual responsibility of ensuring the country's peace and stability. Speaking during a meeting with the Nigerian Governors Forum at his residence in Lagos, the president reiterated his condemnation of the latest